rewarded by Google, so what's the point of doing it? SEO, I mean.
Even a better question. So
Okay.
the reason Google favors brands is because users favor brands.
Halo, ketemu lagi dengan Ilman Akbar dari Daily SEO ID, tempat belajar SEO setiap hari. Di Jakarta, tanggal 16 Juli 2024 yang lalu, ada event diselenggarakan di Jakarta, namanya SEOCon Jakarta 2024. Ini adalah event conference bagi digital marketers dan praktisi SEO buat berkumpul dan belajar tentang SEO dan digital marketing. Salah satu pembicaranya adalah Eli Schwartz, seorang praktisi SEO internasional yang juga merupakan penulis buku dari Product-Led SEO. Di video kali ini, saya berbincang-bincang dengan Eli setelah acara tersebut untuk berbicara mengenai bukunya ini, mengenai konsep Product-Led SEO, bagaimana konsep ini berbeda dengan SEO yang selama ini kita lakukan, bagaimana perusahaan bisa menerapkannya, apa sih SEO ke depan tuh bakal seperti apa, dan masih ada hal-hal lain yang kita bisa pelajari dari ilmunya dari beliau. Tonton sampai habis ya. Eli, thank you very much.
Great to be here.
Thank you very much coming to Jakarta. So, first question is for our audience here who haven't had the chance to read your book.
There's no excuse for that.
Okay, so I'll tell them how to read your book. Okay, so could you please briefly tell us what is product-led SEO and how does it different with programmatic SEO?
Product-led SEO requires that you build your entire product experience around your search user if you have a search user. So if you don't have a search user, then you don't need to do SEO. You're doing SEO for no purpose because no one's going to be searching for you if they're not, if SEO is not the channel for you. Product-led SEO means that if there is a search user that is going to be using search to find you, build that product experience around them. So what do they require? Do they require web content? Do they require images? Do they require video? Whatever it is that that search user is looking for. Programmatic is a tool to achieve product-led SEO, but it's not a requirement. So you could have product-led SEO on daily SEO.
I see.
It is a product for the search user and it is not programmatic. Or you could have programmatic if you wanted to have like a definition, a programmatic definition of every single search term in every single language.
It's not
that you
product-led.
don't. Well, it could be product-led if that's what your search users require.
Okay.
So programmatic is a tool to achieve product-led, but it is not on itself product-led. So let's say your users don't need the programmatic you've created. That's not product-led. It's just programmatic. And if you do programmatic without being product-led, it is potential for there to be a spam penalty because you just created a lot of
pages,
unhelpful pages.
Unhelpful. I see. So I thought that product-led is the like bigger scope of the smaller scope of programmatic, but it's just tools to the goal of serving the search users.
Yes.
Got it.
Content-led could also be product-led, but content-led means you're just writing content around keywords.
Yeah.
So if that's the product users require, technically it also is product-led.
I see. So it doesn't have to be implemented by the engineers, product managers, but as long as the focus is to satisfy users,
Correct.
That is product-led.
Yes.
Okay. So about your book. So aside from your own experience doing this kind of SEO in SurveyMonkey, etc., so why did you write this book? I mean, like, do you have any we call it like, so I want to change something in the industry, for example, like, do you have something like that aside from shared experience? Why do you?
No, not a chance. I wrote the book because I was starting on a consulting career and I wanted something to be a little bit different than a name card. A name card is, I'm different, I have a website, but a book, I thought this is 262 pages. It's a thicker name card. And the other reason I wrote the book is because I had this approach to SEO, which I learned at SurveyMonkey, where I created this channel that drove hundreds of millions of dollars per year. And I would explain this approach to partners, clients about focus on the user, build a product around the user. And they would say, that's very novel. Where do I learn more? And I didn't have somewhere for them to learn more. So I started writing.
I see.
And that writing became a book. No, I didn't want to change anything about the industry because I never thought that I was going to write a book that enough people would be interested in buying and talking about and reading. I just hope to have a book that some people would buy and all the rest of it I would give out for free. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I'd be coming to Jakarta to talk about the book that I wrote. So, no.
Yeah. So because I thought that you are getting kind of tired of the spammy practices of SEO, I thought that you were having that kind of a novel vision that I want to change the industry.
No. The industry's too big. I can't change
Too big,
it.
too old.
The industry's not going to change itself. It's not my job to correct it. I didn't even sell enough books that enough people know about the industry.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to write a book to put my own thoughts on this. I had podcast interviews, I had webinars, but the book is
We
something
talk right here now.
yes, that everyone can go and pick up and read and see these thoughts.
See. All right. So next is about the company. So what are the prerequisites of the company to be able to implement the product-led? I thought that the engineering team or developers team is one of it, but turns out not so, right? So what are the prerequisites lah?
First requirement, executive buy-in. So when you're building product-led SEO, it requires cross-functional support from across the entire company. So in order to get that level of support, you need the executives to say, oh, I need you engineers and you product and you design and you content, you marketing to all work on this initiative together. If they're not, it won't be successful because you could say, oh, I would like to do this product, but the design team says we have a different priority.
Yeah.
So if there's no executive buy-in, they won't do it. And to be clear, like a product, when it comes to be product-led SEO, could be creating a CMS. So many times a company does not have a CMS.
Yeah.
A SEO person on their own or marketer on their own can't build a CMS. They need engineering, they need product, they need IT to go and support that effort.
So in the company, usually the SEO is a small function within the team, right? And it's very hard for him or her to change the decision. To get the buy-ins from the marketing leads, let alone the bigger executive team, cross-functional. So in your experience, what is the best way to try to get the buy-ins from the executives?
It's very difficult, but you have to understand what the executives care the most about.
Money, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Success. So
okay.
at a bigger company, the executives might care about brand awareness. So you can use this to say, here's how we're going to get brand awareness. Or they might care about money, and then you can make a bigger picture. So instead of pitching and saying, we're going to get this ranking, where you instead say, we're going to get this money. Instead of you saying, we're going to publish this piece of content, we're going to say, we're going to do this and get awareness and get eyeballs in front of this user. So you start speaking bigger and you'll get executive buy-in. Now, there's many times where you will not get executive buy-in no matter what you do. And maybe you just agree with it and just do your job or go get another job.
I see. So if we are an external consultant or agency and we want to convince a client, so if in-house SEO guys is having difficulties of doing that, getting buy-in from executive, can external consultants like us do that? Or it should be getting internal first and then they bring us externals to help them?
That's a great question. So I refuse to work with any company that does not have executive buy-in.
Okay.
So I'm coming in usually at a higher level, usually with an executive, and I will not sign a contract if there's no executive buy-in because that engagement is doomed to fail. So as a consultant, I'm going to fail and they're going to be mad at me.
I see.
So I see that from the start. If they say, we would like to do SEO like this, and I say I'd like to do SEO like that, and they are the company and they are the executive and they won't do it, it's doomed to fail for me. Maybe it'll work for them.
Because no execution will happen,
right? Exactly. It won't work for me. The second is, as an external consultant, I can come in because sometimes the internal person is not believed enough. They don't have enough clout or internal political power. I can come in as an external person and say, this is what we should do. I'm the external person who maybe you're paying more money to. You trust me more, so trust me, do this.
I see. So let's move a bit from the product-led SEO approach, and we talk about the Google search now. So as we know that Google have a tendency, and I think it makes sense for them to rank bigger brand, bigger media online, well-known national brand, even though the quality is so-so, right? So we might even say that Google is favoring big brand compared to new brand, smaller publishers, bloggers. So what are your thoughts about it? Like if SEO effort for those smaller medias not getting rewarded by Google, so what's the point of doing it? SEO, I mean.
Even a better question. So the reason Google favors brands is because users favor brands. So as a user or as a shopper, if I go to the supermarket, I am going to search out the brands. I know the brands I want, I search it out. The same thing happens on search engines. I do a search, I don't want the new brands. I don't trust that content. If I'm looking for medical content, I want an established medical authority, not someone I'm going to say, oh, that's interesting advice. Who is that? What's the authority there? I want to look and find the brands. So Google favors brands because users favor brands. Okay. Now, what should a startup do? That's a problem.
Yes,
you have a chicken and egg problem.
Yes.
Build a brand. So you establish a brand, and much of that might happen outside of SEO. It might happen with paid marketing. It might happen with advertising. It might happen with PR campaigns. But a lot of that has to happen because you're building that brand. So Google looks at things like links, things like citations to understand brand value. It's not domain authority. Domain authority is not it. You might get a great mention from a low domain authority social media account, for example. Google may or may not acknowledge that as a brand mention. You may or may not get picked up. But doing those things builds the brand. So build brand, you'll see increased search volume. It's not the same as build links, get more traffic.